Good morning everyone and have a good day. By the way, I am Junryl Celab, the reporter for today's lesson. Together with my co-reporters, Miss Joy P. CARCILLAR and Miss CAROLL CLYDE ENAGUAS. Come and join us with our discussions for today's lesson. Our topic for today is all about understanding the current context and creating a future vision. In understanding the current context and creating a future vision, or in order to realize these functions effectively, of course, you need to focus on many levels of classroom management. This starts with an assessment of what your classroom looks like now and your vision of how you want it to look in the future. Multi-grade teaching, in many views, represent a more demanding teaching situations and special attention should be given to it. That is why the teacher should know more the context of a multi-grade classroom and creating a vision into it. For our objectives are, at the end of the lesson, the student can read questions to understand the context of a multi-grade classroom and write an assessment and vision on what a multi-grade classroom looks like. But before we proceed to our proper discussion, let me ask you first about what do you think is the importance of understanding the current context of a classroom and create a vision. Classroom context is rarely discussed and yet understanding. It is the single most important thing that we can do for creating an ideal learning environment for our students. It is important to address the problem of the students inside the classroom and to make sure that all learners will learn and no one is left behind. How to understand the current context of the multi-grade classroom. When you first get assigned to a school which has or should have a multi-grade teaching, it is essential to take time to gain a clear understanding of the context of your multi-grade classroom. You can start yourself by asking the following questions. So these questions will serve as a guide to better understand the topic. So let's begin with the first and second questions. Where is your school located? And how far your students travel to get to school? When we say a multi-grade classroom and the implementation of a multi-grade classes are in the school were located at the remote and sparsely populated localities. And for number 2, is refers to the distance and time that a students to travel to get to school. And as a teacher, it is important to know the background of your student's location in order to address some instances like being late and absences of your students. So let's now proceed to these questions. What grade are you teaching? And what age and ability range in your classroom? From the past discussion, we all knew that a multi-grade classes have 3 grade levels conducted in one classroom and handled by a single teacher. It can be grade 1, 2, and 3 in one classroom and 4, 5, and 6 in one classroom also. From the fourth question, what age and abilities range in your classroom? Knowing this information, teacher can identify the different strengths of different learners while addressing their weaknesses. It gives the teachers an idea to better understand their students and to keep them with their differences. Teachers can have use different teaching strategies to accomplish various goals to help their students grow and improve their skills and abilities. The next question is, how might you best work with and take advantage of a wide range of ages and abilities? So teacher can use differentiation to accommodate a visual, oral, verbal learners, gifted students, and students with moderate disabilities. Teaching per interactions groups for students can be effective whether it's a partnership, small or large groups. Each has its own unique benefits. All teachers can intentionally groupings where the teachers organize students by common interest, background, or criteria. So let's now proceed to these questions. What kind of a family background do your students came from? And what is their economic status? So it is very important to know the family background of your students in order to promote deeper relationship on teachers' perception of low-income families, personal beliefs, and values of teachers' understanding with the family they work to. Critically reflect on their values, beliefs, and judgment to have an authentic relationship. It can also promote teacher study of children's family life. When teachers collect comprehensive information about families and make meaning of it, they can able to have easily reaching out and address problems about your students with their family lives, backgrounds, and environment. Next questions are, what language do your students speak at home and how well do they understand and speak the national language? So learner in urban and some cosmopolitan setting speaks and understand some English by the time they join school. But learners in the rural area center school with only their home languages. For these learners, using mother tongue in their early education leads to a better understanding of the curriculum content and to have more positive attitude towards learning. So what might you do to ensure they learn what they need to learn in the language you use in the classroom? So teacher can use interactive learner approach where learners sufficiently proficient in the language of instruction. It allows learners to make suggestions, ask questions, answer questions, and create and communicate new knowledge with enthusiasm. It gives learners confidence in how to affirm the cultural identity.
So let's continue the topic of previous reporter. Next one is how many have had some kind of preschool experience. How many preschool experience of, for example, failing grade or highest grade or lack or not attending to your class. So let's determine ilan ba sila na nakaka-undergo that experience. So what can you do to help those have not this experience? So anong possible way o anong tama o anong gagawin mo na, for example, yung low grade maka-experience ng high grades. And next one, do any of your students have special education needs in regard to physical or cognitive disabilities? So, ano ba yung student mo ba may physical disabilities or cognitive disabilities? So, what can do to respond to these needs? Ano ba ang mga kailangan o ano ba ang pwede mong gawin sa kanila na ma-cope up nila yung learning? And next one, what resources do to you how to make this classroom and schoolwork better. Anong mga kailangan o mga materials na pwede mong gamitin na sa iyong classrooms and workplace is mas better na ma-experience ng student na mas nakaka-learn sila sa environment na kung saan mo sila nilalagay sa iyong classroom. Dapat ba maging malinis? Ano bang gagawin mo? More on pictures or more on colors sa iyong classroom? Maging neat ba to achieve the better results of your objective? Next one is, according to the national and perhaps local curriculum, what should be taught to each grade and how well have your student learned the curriculum so far? So, ano ba ang kakailanganin mo to achieve ang mga learning ng student? Next is to what extent do your head teachers, principals, and the other teachers in your school understand and practice their grades? So, what extent or ano ba ang mga perceptions ng mga teachers, principals, or the staff of schools to more understanding of multi-grade teaching? Ano ba ang pwedeng ituro nga mas maintindihan ng mga teacher, ng principal, ng student, even the parents? If their understanding is limited, what can you to do to increase support for your work? So, kung ang kakayahanan o ang learning is may kakulangan, ano ba ang pwede mong gawin? For example, you make a research, gagawa ka ng research, or example, magkakandak ka ng experiment to achieve na mas maintindihan ng student or ng taong involved sa ng multi-grade teaching. And do the parents of your children understand and support multi-grade teaching? Yung parents ba nagsusupport ba ng multi-grade teaching sa inyong school? Kung again, if not, what can to do to help them understand the need of just teaching? So, marami namang parents na nagsusupport, pero meron talagang nag-a-arise ng mga parents na hindi nila naintindihan yung multi-grades teaching. One of the ano dyan kasi, but yung isang question niya ng mga parents, but ihalo yung anak ko sa itong capacity ng bata o ano, 'di ba? Pero ano bang gagawin natin para mas maintindihan ng parents? For example, kailangan ba sila i-invite sa school para ma-explain better yung multi-grade teaching, or gagawa tayo ng experiment na mas maintindihan pa din nila para lang to support the multi-grade class. So this is the questions, the questions to ourselves to take or to gain clear understanding of the content of multi-grade classroom.
Hey everyone, I'm CAROLL ENAGUAS, and today I will continue our report, which is about understanding the current context and creating a future vision. Once you have a good understanding of the students in your class, take time to create a vision in your mind about what want your multi-grade classroom to look like. First, a welcoming, inclusive, healthy, protective, and child-friendly environment which helps your students, or most of whom have probably not had any preschool experience, feel comfortable in the school and ensures that they do not drop out before completion of the primary school cycle. So as a future teacher, kailangan nating iparamdam sa mga estudyante natin na nakasalalay sa kanila ang kanilang kinabukasan. A well-rounded educated learner deserves a well-rounded work in the future. Kailangan mong i-cheer ang estudyante mo para hindi sila bumagsak. At kailangan nating, as a future educator, kailangan nating i-lift up ang ating mga future students. Kailangan nating i-lift up ang kanilang self-confidence para pumasok sila araw-araw. Next, a mixture of grade appropriate and mixed grade teaching, peer learning through work groups and pair work, personalized teaching, independent learning through tutoring and teacher and student interactions to make sure that all children learn and that no children is excluded from learning because of gender, language, poverty, disability, or any reasons. So in this point of view, as a future educator, dito napapasok ang gender-based education natin. Dito napapasok kung paano ka humanda ng estudyanteng may kapansanan. Dito rin papasok ang anti-discrimination. Kung may estudyante kang bakla, kailangan mo bang ipahiya siya sa lahat? Just think about your license. Ang lahat mo, kailangan mo ba siyang ipahiya sa lahat? Just think about your license. Ang lahat ng pagod mo para maabot mo ang posisyon mo sa pagtuturo ay mauuwi lang sa demandahan at pagkawala ng lisensya. Just respect your students at huwag nang kumudag ng ganito, ganyan. Halimbawa, bakla ka lang, wala kang mararating sa buhay mo. Katulad yan. So, being poor is not a hindrance to fulfill your dreams. A disciplined classroom with harmonious learning environment which mixes structured learning, example for teaching science, arithmetic, reading, writing, and unstructured learning, or what we call storytelling, singing plays, games, and others. In order to have a peaceful and disciplined classroom, kailangan natin balansehin kung ano ang ituturo natin per week. Hindi yung ibubuhos natin lahat sa isang week o sa isang araw lang and exhaust ang ating estudyante. To give your students a break, you need to have a short storytelling every 2 days and every week para hindi ma-stress ang estudyante natin. So for summary, it is vital that a multi-grade teacher must understand the context of multi-grade teaching setting. To do this, he or she can ask themselves of some important and relevant questions to know what are missing and what needs to be done. After having a clear understanding of the students and the context of this, creating a vision about what she or he wants the multi-grade classroom to look like will follow. So, dito na papasok ang ating mga ideas kung paano natin i-handle ang ating mga future students as a future educator. So, lahat ng mga ideas papasok na while we are teaching, and so this is a vital role in teaching multi-grade learners, especially elementary like grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, and grade 5, grade 6 students. Thank you very much.